I'm Francesca. Let me tell you how I lost 100 pounds and went from obese to slim during my 12-week summer break. Losing so much weight quickly is very dangerous, though. So here is a warning. If you do any extreme weight loss diet, only do it under medical supervision. Okay, let's get into it. I've always been the odd one out in my family. All my siblings are either extremely beautiful, intelligent, or athletic. I had nothing that made me special, except being fat. My mom always said, "There is my little bacon. Do you want to eat some pancakes? Are you hungry again?" Being fat was my way of standing out. I loved it when my mom called me Moby Dick, and during dinner, I always ate 4 or 5 times as much as my siblings, just to impress her. "Good job, Beefy Bacon," she told me. She thought it was super cute to have a big daughter like me. My mom was an enabler, so it's no wonder that by the time I hit 6th grade, I was severely obese. One of the pretty girls in school once called me fat straight to my face, but I just pulled her down by her hair and sat on her chest. She begged me to get off again and said she couldn't breathe. After a while, I complied to her request, but first I sat down on her face and farted right into her nose. That's the stuff that made other kids respect me. I was bigger than them and willing to beat them up. But once I got older and hit puberty, I became interested in boys. And I knew to get one of them to date me, I had to get in shape. My best friend Miranda had the same body mass index as me, so I asked her if she wanted to lose weight with me together. She responded, "No, thank you. I don't want to wake up looking like an anorexic girl one day." Wow, that was the lamest excuse I've ever heard. But summer break was about to start and I had done my calculations. I weighed 220 pounds and had to lose 100 pounds to reach my dream weight. 100 pounds of fat equals 350,000 calories, which meant I had to achieve a daily caloric deficit of 4,200 calories for the entire span of my 12-week summer break. How that's possible? Well, I would have to water fast every day. That is, to not eat any food and to only drink water. In addition, I would have to do a lot of exercise. My basal metabolic rate was 1,700 calories, which meant I had to burn another 2,500 calories through exercise to reach my daily calorie deficit of 4,200 calories. The only way to accomplish this was to walk 8 hours a day, every single day. But before I continue with this story, another warning. This fast was done under the strict guidance of a doctor. Do not attempt to fast on your own. However, we should also remember that most people have enough fat reserves to survive several weeks or months without eating any food. In fact, evolution has designed the human body to survive famines and other food shortages. And because I had lots of fat stored in my body, I thought that 12 weeks of fasting shouldn't be a problem for me. Here is how it went. The first 2 days were the most challenging because I was extremely hungry. This is the period where your body burns off all the glycogen stored inside your liver. Only when the glycogen is depleted does your body switch over to using fat cells as its energy source. Then, of course, I also had to walk 8 hours a day to reach my calorie deficit goal of 4,200 calories. But my legs weren't used to this much exercise. By the 3rd day, they were so sore that I had to start alternating between walking and cycling every day. By the way, here's my top advice to make fasting easy. Distract yourself. I recommend hiking through forests where you can admire the beauty of nature and forget about your hunger. Of course, it's much harder to fast at home when your mom cooks tasty food. "I made you spaghetti bolognese." "Mom, I told you I am fasting." "But that's dangerous. You have to stop." My mom was very stubborn. She was convinced that fasting was bad for me, even though I had shown her several scientific papers that showed that fasting actually increases the lifespan of most animals. But the greatest health benefit that fasting provides is probably autophagy. Autophagy is a process in which your body starts to eat itself at the cellular level. And because your body is smart, it mostly eats bad things like cancer cells. This process only gets activated if you don't eat any food for several days. Also, if you think you lack the discipline to fast for an extended period of time, then let me tell you another secret. By the 3rd day of your water fast, most of your hunger cravings will be gone anyway. That's just how our bodies work. Anyway, by day 14 of my fast, I had lost 28 pounds. Miranda called me that same day. "Want to go to the movies? Eat some popcorn?" "You know I can't 'cause I'm fasting. But why don't you come by and marvel at my new body?" Ugh, stop bragging. Fasting is unhealthy. And just think about all the loose skin that will be hanging off your body. Yikes. Stop it, Miranda. You were just jealous that I have the discipline to lose weight and you don't. I'll just say one thing. Yo-yo effect. You might lose some weight this year, but you will gain it all back next year. Miranda made a good point, but she was wrong. There is a great video on YouTube by the weight loss expert Dr. Jason Fung, where he explains why the yo-yo effect isn't a problem for people who fast. I'll put the link to his video down into the description for anyone interested. But the short explanation is that fasting actually increases your metabolism, while most other weight loss diets slow your metabolism down. Anyway, by day 20 of my fast, I had already lost 38 pounds. But I didn't feel good anymore. I was tired and dizzy all the time. Then while trekking up a mountain, I suddenly fainted and blacked out. This was a good reminder that water fasting can be dangerous. I immediately Googled why I was dizzy and found that I was probably deficient in electrolytes like salt, potassium, and magnesium. And no wonder, I was sweating all day from exercising. So naturally, my body didn't have enough salt left to function. Fortunately, most supplements are cheap, and after taking them, I immediately felt good again. Here is an extensive list of how much weight I had lost by what day of my 12-week fast. You can see that my weight loss slowed down over time, but that's normal. After 2 weeks of fasting, I also started incorporating small low-carb meals like salads and steaks into my fast. By day 84, I had lost over 100 pounds, and for the first time since being an infant, I had a healthy weight. In fact, I looked pretty hot, and the best part was that I had no loose skin. Back at school, I was approached by dozens of guys congratulating me on how good I looked now. Only some girls kept making nasty comments like, "She must have gotten liposuction. Nobody can lose that much weight in such a short time. It's impossible." Do you notice anything? The ones that badmouthed me were all fat. Miranda was the most malicious. She came over and said, "Let me take a look at your excess skin. Can I?" Then, without my consent, she pulled up my shirt. I replied, "Sorry to disappoint you. My skin is super tight. But can I ask you a question? Are you so insecure that you have to put others down to feel good about yourself?" "What? I'm not insecure at all." That was the end of our friendship. But the following week, our class took a field trip to the beach where everyone had their shirts off except Miranda. "You didn't bring a bikini? I thought you didn't feel insecure about your body." That's when Miranda grabbed me by the hair and pulled me close to her. "Don't be so arrogant. You'll be fat again soon enough. It's called the yo-yo effect." And unfortunately, Miranda was right. After I finished my 12-week fast, I went straight back to eating burgers and fries. Within a month, I'd gained back a few pounds. I realized the only way to stay slim in the long run was to find a healthy diet that I could stick to for years. So I tested over a dozen different diets, everything from vegan to carnivore. But the diet I finally settled on was the ketogenic diet. It's my favorite because after a few weeks of eating keto, I no longer have any sugar or carb cravings, which means I no longer need willpower to resist chocolate or pizza. On top of that, I started doing intermittent fasting, and I only eat between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. in the morning. That's exactly one big meal I can eat each day. The ex-CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, does the same thing. It's called OMAD, one meal a day. If you find this is extreme, don't worry. Your body will get used to it after a while. I like OMAD because it helps me avoid eating small snacks throughout the day. For example, my mom eats 2 or 3 Snickers every night, which is easily an extra 500 calories. In the end, everyone needs to find a diet that works well for their individual body and mind. Instead of copying me, you should try different diets yourself and see what works best for you. I hope my story has inspired you to take control of your own weight. Just promise me you won't be like Miranda and stay fat. It's been 2 years now since I got in shape, and I'm still skinny as a model. Meanwhile, Miranda is still obese and won't admit that she's wrong. She still claims that I will soon gain back my old weight. Anyway, if you enjoyed this animated story, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button.